Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make my current favorite Chinese dish, hot and sour shredded potato. Hi guys, welcome back. It's Erica right here. In case you're new to my channel, my name is Erica and I'm Taiwanese. Cooking and traveling is my passion, so I'm here to share with you my favorite Asian cuisine recipes. And besides that, all my videos cover a little history or background story about the dish. And also I'm going to teach you how to pronounce the dish in Mandarin Chinese. So if that interests you, make sure to click the subscribe button down there and keep watching. Today we're making the famous hot and sour shredded potato. In China and Taiwan at least, our main source of carb is definitely come from rice. We do have potatoes sometimes, but it's not as common as the Western. Although there's a very famous potato dish that if you ask any Chinese people, they must know of. Hot and sour shredded potato. It's super easy and fast to make, but it's rich in flavor and texture. Before we start cooking, let's talk a little bit about how do we choose our potato for our dish. Before I moved to the US, I never really paid attention on what kind of potato that I'm buying because my mom always buys the same potato at home, and when I moved to China, I always buy the same thing just like my mom. Until one day that I really need a potato for my dish here in Massachusetts, and I went to the market and figured the potato here is so different than what I had back home. I was shocked and I instantly go on Google for help. There's hundreds of different potato in the market all around the world, but simply put, there's only 3 types of potato that you should know of. First, there's the high starch potatoes such as russet potatoes, and there's a medium starch potato such as yellow potato, white potato that you've seen in the supermarket, and there's low starch potatoes such as red potatoes, new potatoes, and fingerling potatoes. First, let's talk about the potato that I always thought is the only potato in the world, the russet potato. High starch potatoes such as russet potato have a very thick skin, but when you cook it, it's really easy to fall apart in your soup. But when you whip it, it's really fluffy and light, so it makes it the ideal choice to mashing. And because they have a very light and mealy textures, it's a really good choice for baked potatoes as well. And there's medium starch potatoes. The most commonly seen potato in the supermarket here in the US is the yellow potato and the white potato. And these potatoes are the medium starch potato. Medium starch potato is all-purpose used potato. They perform pretty well in all kind of preparation while cooking, such as boiling, mashing, baking, grilling, even roasting. In my opinion, I really prefer yellow potato rather than russet potato for my mashed potato because it have a little extra, I would say, sandy texture into it. It's like, in Chinese we call it sandy. Obviously it sounds a little weird, but it's a texture that I really have to try it and compare, and you will know there's like a little extra texture into it, and I really like that flavor. And again, this is all personal preference. You should try out both and then pick your favorite. For any kind of dish, you don't really have to follow the recipe saying, oh, you should use red potato instead of russet, and you think you're gonna destroy the dish without using the right potato. No, it's just your personal preference, and if you like it, that's all it matters. And for mashed potato, you can probably try out both yellow potato and russet potato and then choose your favorite. And if you can't tell the difference, you're blessed. Just buy the cheaper one, right? The difference between white potato and yellow potato, they claim that the white potato have a little more sweet undertone and the yellow potato tastes a little more creamy and buttery. I can't tell the difference, so whoever have a discount wins on me. Last but not least is our low starch potato. The most common seen low starch potato is the red potatoes and the new potato and fingerling potatoes. These potatoes are a little more waxy and hold their shape really well while you boil them. So it makes them the best choice for the soup, the stew, and even salad potatoes. I have been making my hot and sour shredded potato for a very long time now, and for this video specifically I did a lot of research about what kind of potato is the best for this dish, and I found out there's a lot of chefs online, a lot of influencers that they're telling you that using red potato or the low starch potato is the best choice for the hot and sour shredded potato, but I like my russet potato the best. Like, I tried out both, but I kind of grow up with the taste and texture of the shredded potato, and I don't really like the red potato taste. It's not bad, obviously it's definitely more crispier, but I kind of like that soft and crispy texture into my shredded potato. So it's really just your choice. If it's your first time and you want the like authentic one, choose the red potato for this dish. But if you have time, you can try out both and choose your favorite. Me personally, I like the russet potato, so that's what we're gonna use today. Since we already choose what kind of potato we're going to be using today, let's start cooking. First things first, let's check out our ingredients today. The best potato for this dish is the red potato. It makes it crispier and that's what this dish is supposed to be. But like I said earlier, it really depends on your preference. So me personally, I like to use my russet potato because it will taste just like my ideal potato taste growing up. The red pepper is just for coloring. Me personally never really use it in my dish, but today we'll add it for the thumbs down. For you guys. The first step, we need to deal with our potato. Peel the potato and slice them into thin but not too thin slice. If you're really confident and good with your knife skill, you do you. I like to use my veggie slicer for this step first, so each slice will be an even thickness, and then chop them into strips. I don't use a shredder for the same reason as the papaya salad. The shredder makes it too thin and it will lose its texture while cooking. Especially for the high starch russet potato I choose today, put them into a bowl of water and add in 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And let it soak for around 10 minutes. This step will make the potato crispier later. In the meantime, slice the garlics into thin slices as well as the red bell pepper. Cut the dried chili pepper so the seeds are not sealed inside. We want the spiciness of the chili seeds provides. Chop the scallion and then the potato should be ready. If you use a high starch potato like me, make sure to rinse several times so you can get rid of most of the starch on the surface. And now it seems like we're ready to cook. Boil up some water and add in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And now we need to braise the potato for around 30 seconds in high heat. This step is to reduce the frying time later so it'll be crispier and also cooked. Set a timer, don't overdo it or it's gonna lose its texture. Drain out the water and set it aside. Heat up a pan, then add in oil. For this dish, we need around 3 tablespoons of oil to stir fry it. Drop in the chili, SiChuan pepper, and garlic while the oil is around 60% hot, which means the oil just starts to move around by the heat and you can see it's starting to smoke soon. And when you add in the spice, it will make a sizzling noise but not explosions. Stir them to aromatic around 10 seconds, then add in the potatoes. Stir in high heat still for around 1 minute and then add in salt, sugar, vinegar, and scallion. Now just mix them all together and done! The hot and sour shredded potato is ready. The first time I make this dish for my American host mom, she loves it and asks me how I made this interesting crispy texture she have never had before. It's not like a chip, but not like French fries. It's really hard to describe, but you need to try it yourself. The sourness and the spiciness makes it a perfect balance and it's very addictive. I like it more spicy, so I always add in some spicy oil. It's not necessary, but that's how I like it. If it's not because of the quarantine make me a little chungus right now, so I cut down a little bit of carbs, I was having this instead of rice 3 days a week. If you know me personally, you'll know that if something can replace rice for me, it's gotta be the best food in the world. Now, while you're eating, let's learn some Chinese. The word of the day today is our dish, hot and sour shredded potato, 酸辣土豆丝. The first word is 酸, 酸. The first tone, 酸, which means sour. And the second word, I believe you learned this before, which is 辣, 辣. The fourth tone, 辣, which means spicy. And the third word with 2 characters is 土豆, 土豆, which is the third tone and the fourth tone, 土豆, which means potato. If you watched my previous video, you're probably a little bit confused. Isn't potato 马铃薯? You're not wrong. In fact, there's so many ways of calling potatoes in Chinese, and in Taiwan, we prefer to call it 马铃薯. And in China, most people call them 土豆. And since this dish is from China, I wanted to teach you the way they call it originally. We'll understand it both ways. And the last word, 丝, 丝, is a first tone, 丝, which means shredded or strips or thin slice. And in today's case, for the shredded potato, it means shredded. Let's try it again together. 酸辣土豆丝. hot and sour shredded potato. And here's a question for you. What do you think we call the hot and sour shredded potato in Taiwan? Leave your answer down in the comment box and ping in for me as a practice. Thank you for watching today. I hope you liked the dish. Give the video a thumbs up if you try out my recipe. I upload a video every Thursday, and if you're afraid you're gonna forget about it, turn on the little bell down there so I'll send you a notification every time I upload. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye!